guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've had a great week. It has been a long week for me, but I'm so happy that it's the weekend. Today, what we're going to be doing is making the classic potato soup. Now, my mom made potato soup growing up for us because it was cheap, it was easy, and our family loved it. Since I've gotten older, I have a little bit of a twist on the classic potato soup that my mom used to make. And so I hope you join me in making this together. The first thing that we're going to have to do, just like with almost any other recipe that you make, we need to do the prep work. And for this potato soup, there is a little bit of prep work that goes into it. We are going to start here with the main ingredient of our dish, which of course is the potatoes, hence the name potato soup. So we are going to chop these up. The size is going to depend on how you like the potatoes. Some people like a larger rustic cut to their potatoes. Some people like a smaller one. I like a nice small one so that it's bite size. It fits on your spoon. I've already peeled my potatoes. Some people don't peel theirs. You don't have to. I just feel like the skin of a russet, it doesn't matter how much I wash it, it tastes like dirt. So I like to peel the potatoes if it's a russet. If I'm using like a red skin potato or a Yukon Gold, then I don't peel it. I just wash it up real good and then chop it up. And for this, to me, it doesn't matter if they're all the same size. Sometimes you want some nice smaller ones so that they break up in the water, so it kind of thickens your soup a little bit there. A nice thick creamy potato soup is always nice. So we're gonna just chop these up. So what have you guys been doing for your week? Let's play some more getting to know you stuff. I am super excited because I only worked 48.5 hours this week, and so it was kind of a nice relaxing week for hours worked for me. So that was cool. When it comes to actually work done, I would say that it was kind of stressful, but that's okay. I love my job, and everybody has those stressful weeks. You're not gonna find a job where everything is perfect and daisies all the time, right? So this, for me, is how I de-stress. This is how I kind of get over that work week slump and reset myself, is cooking. I love cooking. I love cooking for people. Cooking for myself, not so much. If it was just me, I probably wouldn't cook so much. I didn't when I used to live by myself. I ate a lot of just salads and then rice and chicken. And it's probably why when I was younger, I was so much thinner. Because I wasn't cooking all this good food. I was just eating salads. But salads are good too. They are. So, what do you guys like to have during the week? So, do you cook anything elaborate on the weekdays, or do you save that for the weekend? Or are you a like a ready-made meal type of person? Is this kind of like a change for you, cooking? Are you new to it? I have been cooking for a long time. But it kind of goes in spurts. There will be some nights where I'll do some, like, I don't know, not necessarily pre-made food, but some, like, half-made, I guess you would say, where I'll buy something packaged and then I'll add stuff to it to kind of zhuzh it up. But usually everything's made from scratch. I cheat, though. Like, when I make my biscuits, a lot of times I use the Bisquick or the Jiffy Mix. Just because it's so much easier. Cutting cold butter into flour is a workout, but hey, workouts are good. Maybe I should probably start making homemade biscuits instead. So the amount of potatoes that you put in obviously is going to depend on how much you're making. I am cooking for 2 teenage boys and a husband and myself, so we are making a larger pot of potato soup here. I also am not good at cooking for like just 2 people or 3 people. I've always cooked way too much food, so And I think that comes from my mom. My mom always made like a lot of food whenever she cooked, because sometimes we'd have people stop over, and at my parents' house, if you left hungry, that was your own fault. Like, my mom loved feeding people, and I think that's probably where I get my love for feeding people, is from my mom. So, what about you guys? Did you learn your passion for cooking from anyone in particular? I would say my mom has been my inspiration on a lot of things. I'm very close to my family. We have been through a lot together, as most families have. And so my mom's just always been that person that I can look up to all the time. So my parents always taught me to go by the platinum rule, treat people better than you would like to be treated, because there are some things that you will put up with that you wouldn't expect somebody else to put up with. And so I've kind of watched my parents do that over the years, how they treat people and what they do for people. They always told me, if you can do something, then you do it. Whatever's in your power to do, you do that. Even if you think that it's small and insignificant, it might not be for the person that you're helping. So that's kind of how I've lived my life. I have to give that to my parents, especially my mom, for teaching me that. And we are going to actually, different size bowls, guys. My stainless steel bowls, super excited. My sister got me these for Christmas, and I use them every day. Every single day I use these bowls. They are so awesome for prep. I actually used them when I was making tiramisu, and I was doing the eggs for the yolks for the tiramisu. Yeah, that's something that we'll have to do on the channel as well, because a non-dairy tiramisu, let me tell you, it was really good. Of course, very different, because the main ingredient in tiramisu is mascarpone. But so the day one, when we tried it, my Italian exchange student said, it's good, but it's not tiramisu. I'm like, okay, well that makes sense. But then the next day, after it sat all day, he said it tasted like tiramisu. So super exciting. So I'm kind of excited to make that for the channel, but not for a little while, because I made a big thing of it, and I don't want to do that twice too soon together. Like, when you make desserts, I don't want to make the same thing like in the same month. So let's give it a couple months, and we'll do tiramisu on the channel, because that was pretty awesome. And of course, I'm sure you recognize, so that was onion that we chopped up previously. This is our garlic that we're chopping up now. Onion and garlic. And now, this is a little bit different from my mom's recipe. I like to add celery and carrots to my potato soup. So I put a little bit more vegetables in my potato soup. Growing up, it was just, it's gonna sound super weird. So potatoes and hot dogs. My niece actually calls it hot dog soup because that's what we put in it, was hot dogs. Hot dogs are cheap, and they are easy, they're accessible. So you know what? If you want to put hot dogs in your potato soup, you put hot dogs in your potato soup. Doesn't matter. Some people don't put any actual meat in the soup itself. They just make up some bacon to go on top. That's okay too. It's one of those recipes that everybody has a different recipe for it. So, and of course, I took the skin off my potatoes. I peeled, or not potatoes, carrots. Wow, guys, okay. I peeled my carrots ahead of time. So these are peeled already, and we're just dicing them up small. And again, you can make these any size you want. You don't have to make them small like I make mine. You can make them larger if you want a rustic potato soup with nice big pieces of potato and carrots in there. You do whatever you want. Because obviously I'm doing whatever I want. And guess what, guys? Look, there's not the same size. I'm not Gordon Ramsay, obviously. It's not about perfection. It's about making something that tastes good to feed your family. For me, anyway. That's what I do it for. Okay, so we've got our carrots here. Awesome. And this knife, I have to tell you, my knife I got from my friends David and Hassan. Got me a whole set of Cuisinart knives, and I'm like, oh, they're so adorable. Love the purple. So, and for Christmas. You don't think that my friends and family know I like to cook, do you? Oh, man. I would say a lot of the things that I have, I got from other people because they know I love to cook, and you can never have enough stuff for your kitchen, I feel like. Kind of like my husband in his garage with tools. That's how I am with my kitchen. All right, so there's that. So we've got our vegetables prepped. Our potatoes are done, our onions, our garlic. Now, let's grab... We are going to start here with the Polish kielbasa. And so I'm going to make this a little bit easier to cut here. And I'm going to cut mine into kind of smaller pieces. Like I said, you do not have to do that. You cut yours however you want, and you don't have to use Polish kielbasa. You can use ham, you can use hot dogs, you can use whatever you'd like, or you don't have to put meat in it. Like I said, a lot of people don't put meat in their potato soup. They just have that crisp bacon on the top with their cheese and all that stuff that they put on top of their potato soup. So we're going to get these cut up. All right. So what else can we talk about, guys? I don't know. When you're dicing, it's just kind of like a lull in the conversation, right? You're just cutting. There's nothing exciting going on in the video right now. We're just cutting up sausage. So whoop, there it goes. All right. Maybe I'll just fast forward through this part. Do the high speed chopping. That might work. Okay guys, so the last thing we're gonna do is bacon. So like I said, a lot of people put bacon right on top, and that's what we're gonna do as well. So we are going to cut this bacon here, and this is a really thick cut bacon. So if you're using a thinner cut bacon, you can use more. I'm just using 2 strips because it's, like I said, it's a really thick cut. It's almost like pancetta at this point. So this is an applewood smoked bacon. You can use whatever you'd like, or no bacon at all. Some people don't like bacon. It's really weird, I know, but it's a thing. People not liking bacon. Okay, beautiful. And of course the bacon is the last thing that we cut because we got that raw pork on the cutting board, and we don't want to cut anything else after we cut that raw pork. So now that we've got everything prepped, let's start cooking. Guys, now it's time to cook. So we've got a nice large pot here on medium heat. So you want to wait until the pot starts to actually heat up before you put your bacon in. So you can hear that sizzle. We are going to get our bacon in there. And you're going to leave it on a medium heat while you're cooking your bacon. You don't want to have it on a high heat. You don't want to get that bacon splashing all over the place. We're just going to kind of saute this, get some of that fat rendered that's on the bacon here. A lot of people will get impatient and just stick it on that high heat and cook it really fast, but patience, guys, patience. Now we've got the bacon nice and crispy the way we want it. So we're just gonna take this out and we're gonna put it in a bowl with some paper towel inside the bowl here. And that paper towel is gonna kind of soak up that fat so that you don't have really super greasy pieces of bacon. Trying to get all of this bacon out of here can be a little bit of a pain. Yeah. Okay, so bacon. Gorgeous, guys. Beautiful. Okay. All right, so to this, we are going to add our onions and our garlic, and we are still on a medium heat here. Oops. That is some sizzle, guys, right? I'm going to turn this down a little bit to more of a medium-low heat. And we're just going to saute this a little bit so that our onions become translucent and our garlic is fragrant. So I can smell the garlic now, and it only takes a minute for those onions to start to go translucent. You want to keep stirring this. You don't want to burn that garlic that's in there, because once garlic overcooks and burns, it gets bitter. You don't want that bitter taste. You want that nice aromatic garlic flavor. All right, beautiful. Our onions are starting to go translucent, so now we're going to add our carrots and our celery. Oh, got some more carrots in there, guys. And we're just going to saute these a little bit. We don't want our carrots and celery to get soft while we're sauteing them. We just want to start cooking them a little bit in here. So this is the ultimate trilogy, I guess you would say, when you're making a soup. It's your mirepoix. So carrots, onions, celery. That is how most good soups start out, guys. All right, so I only wanted a couple minutes on here. We've got our carrots and our onions and our celery. It looks like our celery and our carrots are starting to just barely start to cook there. So that's good. And like I said, we don't want to burn that garlic. Ooh, excuse me. All right. So now to this, we are going to add, and it's going to sound weird, guys, we're going to add some butter. I know, seems weird, but butter to the mix. We're adding butter because we are going to make a roux, and there's not quite enough fat in the pan right now to start that roux. So we need to add some butter so we've got a little bit more liquid. Now, of course, this is Earth Balance vegan butter, so it doesn't quite have the fat content that real butter does. But this is no dairy, no problem. Right, guys? So, no dairy. All right, and as that butter is working its way in there, you want to scrape the bottom of the pan, get up all of those little bits from the bacon cooking. Those little bits at the bottom, that is going to give you some real flavor in your meal. So, just like when you're making a gravy, you got to scrape up the little bits from the bottom from when you sear your meat in the pan prior to that. Okay, so now guys, we're gonna add some flour. And let me move some stuff around here. keep a little scooper in my flour, and I eyeball it with the flour, because that's just what I do, guys. We already know I don't really measure things. So eyeballing it, and we're gonna eyeball it until this becomes thick, almost like a paste. And then once we get that thickness, we want to make sure that we are letting this cook for a couple of minutes, because we want to cook that flour out, just like we talked about when we were making, was it peanut butter pie, guys? Is that what we were making? No. Sausage gravy. That's what we were making when we made the roux. So awesome. And we're gonna stir and stir and stir, because we don't want it to stick, and we want to cook the flour. So we're gonna keep stirring. It's like Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. We're gonna just keep stirring. I already told you guys before that I'm a major dork, so this is me. The first couple of videos, I was kind of like, nervous. I don't really want to act like myself, but now it is me coming out, me in a nutshell. Usually when I'm cooking, I just have the radio blasted and I'm dancing and singing, but I can't do that here because I'm filming with my phone and I listen to my music on my phone, so it doesn't really work to do that. All right, beautiful. Our flour is cooked here, so now what we're gonna do, we are gonna add our kielbasa. We are gonna add our potatoes. Whoa, look at all those potatoes, guys. Okay, and to this is also where the recipe differs from my mom. So we are going to add some chicken stock. Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's stir that up on the bottom here. Get your spoon down there at the bottom. You want to mix this all around. Yep. All right. I'm going to add some more chicken stock here. And then also, because this is creamy potato soup, and we know that just having that roux down there with the chicken stock, that's not gonna make it that nice creamy potato soup, is it? All right, so now we've got our, what is this, guys? Non-dairy creamer water mixture. And this mixture, because we want it more like a cream, it is about 50-50 ratio with the creamer and the water. So that's what we're used to seeing for potato soup. That nice white creamy color. And so what we're gonna do now, we are going to turn this up just a tad so that it is at that medium to medium high. It's about medium, and we are gonna let this cook. This is all gonna cook together. You know what? Before I do that, I almost forgot, guys. We didn't put any salt, any pepper, anything in here. So fresh parsley that I cut up earlier, we're gonna put in. So we've got some parsley, and we need to go up here for salt and pepper. So we're gonna put salt in here, and yeah, about like that. And we're gonna put pepper in here because we like pepper, right, guys? I don't know, maybe you don't like pepper. Who knows? I like pepper. All right, pepper, salt, pepper. And you know what else? Oh, this beautiful ingredient here. Do you guys know what this is? This? Accent. Or MSG. Ooh, the dangerous MSG that people don't want to use. Yeah, that's what that is. Okay, so let's stir in the seasonings now. Now we're gonna let this cook. And so we are gonna cook this until our potatoes are tender. So I guess I'll see you guys in a little while. And here we have it, guys. Our potato soup is ready. We're gonna top it with some vegan cheese and some of that bacon that we made earlier. Bon appetit.